welcome once again to 2025 Puus Kaat Education Week. And this symposium is going to be experiencing a number of things, and we want to kickstart without wasting much time. We start with a debate, and then immediately after the debate, we will go to the classrooms over there to have the quiz. So our attention is going back towards a wonderful theme chosen for the Puus Kaat this year. We have Revolutionizing Mwaghavul nation's economy, leveraging agriculture and technology. So it's all about renewing our economic strategy, and as well as considering the technology or the know-how on how to improve on our economy. That's what we're simply saying. So don't mind the big English I just read out to you. And we intend that Nakam Memorial Secondary School Panyam will be debating against Boys Secondary School Gindri. And I'm sure it's going to be a explosive debate this morning. And I'm very sure you will all be glad that you attended. So without much ado, we have and as we honor God and honor our country, shall we all stand, please? Come forward and pray for us, a female led by the Spirit. Kunche gender sensitive, never.
Signboard and banner of ages that I am and I am, we are saying thank you. As now the one we Father will break it for you. Cover us with the precious blood of Jesus. As now we want to start, Father will come in our midst in Jesus' name. Guide us and protect us for this week. Thanksgiving and faith for Jesus' name.
Amen. And a big amen. The national anthem. That's the first stanza. Is it the old or the new? The new old. Can we take it? 1, 2, go. The first stanza of the pledge, please. And we take our seats. Let's welcome ourselves with a round of applause. And they will meet us on the way because we want to regain the time. I already said it's going to be a debate now between Nakam Memorial Secondary School Panyam against Boys Secondary School Gindri. I already told you the topic, and we intend that it's going to be the method of the presidential debate, where some interruptions and arguments would come in between arguments, and that's the latest form of debate that is going on in the country. And I want to believe that Boys Secondary School and Nakam Memorial Secondary School are conversant with these formats. Can I have a yes from Nakam? Are you aware of that? Somebody say no from somewhere. I'm talking of Nakam Memorial Secondary School. Is Nakam here? On their way? Yeah. Oh, you're here. New format. Please give them a rousing welcome. For each speaker, 8 minutes. And I said that you take a point of information, and then you are supposed to defend and answer the question raised, and your ability to continue with the argumentation is what we want to see this morning. We have the first speaker, the second speaker, the third speaker. I said 8 minutes to each of the speakers. So my prayer that we shall enjoy this moment even as we kickstart the program proper. Now, you were given a letter in advance to prepare. And while you are preparing, the encouragement is that you prepare for proposition and opposition. I hope you did that. They're not saying anything. Okay, okay, you start.
It was better. No, that this will propose this. It was better.
Very key or important session, the one I just mentioned. You are supposed to have prepared for both sides, proposition and opposition. And when we come here, you pick a cast and to determine whether you are going to propose or oppose. That's the nature of this kind of debate. But since propositions were already given to you ahead, then we will go by it. So Boys Secondary School will be proposing, and Nakam Memorial Secondary School will be opposing. Can we put our hands together to welcome them to the stage? So we have Nanle Yerima, Panshak, Festus, and Rinfuan Yakubu from Boys Secondary School. The third person is yet to come. Anyway, let's give them a round of applause. Together to welcome them to the stage. Brother Walshak and my humble self as the judges. So I'm doubling as MC as well as adjudicator. So I already said 8 minutes to each speaker, and usually we would start with the proposition. Are we expecting your third speaker, or you manage yourself? You manage. That's serious. Let's give them a round of applause again. You are all welcome. Now, see, we're sitting as if we are Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C. A and B had a relationship, that is a credit facility. Mr. A borrowed money from Mr. B on the grounds that he was going to return the money after a month. So Mr. A disappeared from the scene completely. No news of him. And B was getting worried and became so worried, he started looking for A to return his money. After about 6 months, they met at the market square, and Mr. B felt it was a great opportunity for him to have A arrested so that he must pay the credit he owed. Now they started this argument, and the argument continued and became so hot to the point that they started seizing each other's throat. Now, Mr. C, who came and was passing, he was only passing, and it's like he was there witnessing the argument from the beginning. So he took interest. So he said, let me watch and see how these people are going to solve their problem. So the argument became so serious, nobody was separating them. It became so serious to the point that they started threatening each other. A pleaded for more time. B said it has to be today. And he threatened to the point that he said, heaven is going to receive somebody today if his money is not paid. C became more curious and more anxious to see how the argument is going to end. At the end of the day, A brought out his knife and stabbed himself so that at least he's going to be free of the credit. So he died instantly. B said, no, you can't go, you just have to pay. So the only thing I need to do is I will kill myself also so that we'll go and meet wherever you are going to. So he picked the same knife and stabbed himself to death. I thought that should be over, isn't it? C said, no way, I started this argument with you, I must follow you to make sure that the argument ended well with me too. So what did he do? He carried the knife also and did what? And stabbed himself. Now the question is, who's the most foolish amongst them? No chorus answer. Yes? See? What? Sorry, I didn't get to so that the audience will hear you.
Because he was not there when
interest and decided to be part of it. So you see, he is the most foolish. Please give me a round of applause. Can I have another one from someone now, since I said I was waiting for the judges?
The cameras are going to block you. It's supposed to have been here.
3 minutes to round up. Okay? We have Nanjuan, we have Walsha, and Famunda. Instruction. No matter how good the points are, wait. We shall clap our hands at the end of the argument so that we don't interrupt a free flow of ideas, please. If any school is found clapping hands unnecessarily, we shall deduct 5 marks from the school. It's a rule. So can we have the first speaker from Boys Secondary School, Indri?
Dear all, I'm by name Nali Arima. I stand to advocate agriculture, not technology, is the best in revolutionizing the Mwaghavul economy. It's the most important factor in revolutionizing the Mwaghavul economy. With me, at some point, 2 points with me. The first point I'm going to talk about is agriculture modernization drives economic growth. The second point is preserving culture and heritage. But before I give out my points, I would like to give a brief history of agriculture in Mwaghavul land. The Mwaghavul people have a very rich history of agriculture, with the land providing for them. Not only to sustain them, but in their livelihood. Agriculture is deeply rooted in cultural and social fabric in their community. To revolutionize the economy, we need to see the sector. That sustains the majority of the population. Additionally, agriculture provides direct self-employment to citizens. We are ensuring that larger society and remain employed, and then rural communities will not be left behind. My point is that about the topic agriculture modernization drives economic growth. When we talk about revolutionizing economy, we must think about the increasing of productivity and profitability. With the right investment in tools, techniques, and training agriculture, this helps farmers to create new market spots which will help them. I will give you time for a question. This will help them improving agricultural products, not only feed people, but also create new markets and spots, the development of local industries. Thank you, Professor.
The tools and equipment that are used for the agriculture. Are those tools and equipment used for the high productivity of agricultural products? Are they not factors? Are they not due to the influence of technology? It's not technology that provides such equipment for the productivity of those goods.
In improving agricultural production, not only people feed, but also create new markets and spots for development of industries. which will help people. Thank you very much.
And put your hands together for.
Ladies and gentlemen, standing before you is Ishaya Kinaya from Napa Memorial Secondary School. This house believes that agriculture and not technology is the best means for revolutionizing the Mwaghavul nation economy. I am here to negate that proposition. But before I proceed, I would like to define the key terms that make up this topic. Agriculture. Agriculture is the practice of cultivating of the land and raising of livestock. Technology. Technology is the application of scientific knowledge and techniques to solve problems, improve processes, and create new products. Revolutionizing. Revolutionizing is derived from the word revolution, which means causing a dramatic and radical change in something. Economy. Economy is a system by which goods and services are produced, distributed, and consumed within a society or region. We from the negating team have 9 points. I will talk on high economic value, transforming industries, diversification and global competitiveness, transfer scale for agriculture. While the second speaker will be talking on increased productivity and efficiency, market expansion, communication and advertisement. The third speaker will be talking on reduced labor costs, presenting challenges. It is well known in our society today that yes, in most rural areas, agriculture is more dominant. But then, due to the fact that agriculture is more dominant, should we then neglect technology which has provided us with much better solutions? The answer is no. Reason because there is high economic value and profit margins. Technology, through the use of technology, there is high economic and profit margins. We get high profits with the use of technology. Technology has brought different machineries that we use. It is very essential in our society today. Even agriculture, even the people citing agriculture will have to agree with me that technology is the driving force of even agriculture itself. Without some of this equipment and implements, agriculture is going to be very stressful. But due to the fact that technology has been introduced into the society today, it has made it easy. It has made it easier and modified that we can be able to get high products. Thank you. High products. An example is Apple iPhone generates more revenue than the entire export of most developing nations. The Mwaghavul nation is not to be a developing nation. It is not already developed. And technology is what is going to boost its economy. If we have technology in the society, no thank you. When there is technology in the society, we tend to understand that there are a lot of equipment that are being made available. A lot of people do use their phones and a lot of them to go online, to browse and do a lot. Technology have brought forth new seedlings that are free from diseases, in which we use in our various farmlands today. Technology has helped us, has provided us with herbicides, fertilizers that are also used in agriculture. It tends to boost the agricultural sector. This technology that we are trying to neglect has done more than a lot. For example, look at developed countries, even the world power, the US. They have introduced technology into their system. And it's the fact that they have introduced technology into their system, they rule the global world. They have the global trade, they are the one ruling the market. Yet we tend to cling to agriculture, which tends to provide just foodstuffs, food security and employment. And the employment is not even more sufficient. Due to the fact that, yes, agriculture provides us with employment of farming and just rearing animals. But come to the side of technology, where we have software engineers, where we have lab scientists, we have engineers, we have a lot of them. There are various industries, even the industries that are used for processing some of these agricultural products is due to the influence of technology. Technology is a key factor that is supposed to be introduced in every developing nation because it's going to help in boosting it. Secondly, transforming industries and creating new opportunities for growth. Technology has helped in transforming various industries. Our parents will agree with me that when there were no grinding machines, it was very difficult grinding some of these corn meals and a lot of them. But due to the fact that we now have grinding machines, it has made it more easy. And this grinding machine is an influence of technology. We should not hide ourselves under the roof saying that agriculture is actually what is going to be used in revolutionizing a society, knowing fully well that technology will take it to a higher level. The Mwaghavul nation needs technology. When we have technology in the society, when we have technology in the Mwaghavul nation, you find out that even the creative students who are creative youth and innovative ones will create more goods, will create new products, improved ones at that will help in developing and boosting the economy to a higher pace. E.g., the Silicon Valley employs fewer people than even the farming sector, yet they make high amounts of profit per capita. They make high amounts of profit and even gross domestic product, much more than the farming sector, which has a lot of people who are even working there. Come to think of it, if we have a lot of people working in the technological sector, won't it boost our economy to a higher rate? Won't it take us to a higher pace where even the Mwaghavul nation will not imagine of? Diversification and global competitiveness. There is high diversification and global competitiveness. Like I said earlier, in most of the developed countries today, it is technology that has been introduced over there. And due to the fact that technology has been introduced over there, they are making high amounts of money, they are making high profit, due to the extent that, to the fact that they are even ruling the global world itself. Technology is something that should not be neglected. Technology is a key factor that tends to boost the economy. It will help in revolutionizing the Mwaghavul nation. The Mwaghavul nation, if it introduces technology in its system, will find it very delighting and more easy because a lot of things will be used. Look at the means of transportation. Even the traders that use their phones to call and make a lot of calls that they will use they'll call their customers and sometimes even we build their goods. A lot of things come to see, even the advertisement of goods, they are done online. A lot has been done due to technology. And if the Mwaghavul nation will introduce technology into a system, then we will go into a higher pace where even the people in the society will not even imagine it. Tech-driven economies such as US and China, they dominate the global trade today. They are making high amounts of money. Due to the fact that there is technology. This is the fact that there is high amounts of technology. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, with this well-established point of mine, I hope I am able to bring you to the understanding that technology and not agriculture is the best means to revolutionize the Mwaghavul nation's economy. Thank you.
Can we have the second speaker for the proposal side? Headfirst, put your hands together for you.
On the point, agriculture, not technology, is the best way to revolutionize the economy of Mwaghavul. I will start by debating on preserving culture and heritage of Mwaghavul. The Mwaghavul people have been engaged in agriculture for centuries, and their farming practices are not just a source of income to the community, but it is part of the people. While technology can bring temporary change, agriculture can preserve the traditions of the people, can preserve the traditions of the people and foster a deeper connection between the people, the land, than leaving it for technology which produces other chemicals which destroys the land. Maintaining this link is crucial for long-term harmony and development of Mwaghavul. In conclusion, agriculture is the backbone of Mwaghavul economy. How? Because it provides employment to most people. Most people around are into businesses. No, thank you. Most people today are into businesses, into agriculture. agricultural businesses, which they sell pepper, okra. Thank you. Which they sell pepper, okra, and other stuff to get income for themselves. And the first speaker here said that. The first speaker here said that most people use their money to buy products from technology. So I have a question: if from the money they get from selling all this, they buy the technological appliances, or they get to feed their family and run other stuff around. Thank you. So with these points of mine, I hope you are convinced that agricultural technology is the best way of improving the Mwaghavul economy. Thank you.
Long enough, right? Okay. Okay, that person. Okay. Please, that person narrate will now take the stage as the second speaker from the opposition. Let's put
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Magin This house believes that agriculture and not technology is the best means of revolutionizing the Mwaghavul nation economy. I'm here to negate the proposition which says with the following point: increase productivity and efficiency. Technology has improved production in the sense that when a farmer will go to a farm 6 to 6, he won't come back early because he has not yet finished what to do. But when he has machine and machineries to do the work for him, like tractors, harvesters, planters, they can finish the work for him fast. Market expansion, in the sense that when you make a good like palm sandals, you have produced some things. You must not go to the market to go. No thanks. You must not go to the market to go and exhibit what you have made, but you can use the internet technology to show, to broadcast, to advertise what you have made. Communication and advertisement, in the sense that when you want to communicate with someone, even the farmers here, even though they don't know like fertilizer to use, they can just check the internet to know what it will do, how it will work, how many days will it take for it to do. And you advertise your work. Mr. Chairman, the speaker, with this well-established point of mine, I hope you are convinced beyond reasonable doubt that agriculture, not technology, not agriculture, is the best way of revolutionizing the Mwaghavul's economy. Thank you.
So who amongst you is going to be the third speaker here now? I will call the first person to take the third speaker's position. Nale Yarima, please put your hands together for him.
Before I speak, I want to ask you a question. You said shoes bags are made of technology. The source is coming from where? I want to know where the source is coming from. Technology, we all know that technology causes loss of life and properties. In the process of using technology, one might get hurt. And again, technology, it makes people lazy. Because what you are supposed to do is your hand. You want to use technology and do it. So it makes some of our youth nowadays lazy. When a parent asks them to go to the farm, they don't want to go. They will look for means. I don't need it. They will look for a means of technology to go and use it. And it makes, I don't need it. And it makes some of our youth nowadays lazy. But with agriculture, we know, I don't need it. We know that in Mangu, even the governor, His Excellency Barrister, says that the land is always green. And what is it? What makes it says that the land is always green? It's not because of agriculture. I don't need it. It's because of agriculture. Agriculture provides food which we eat in our body. The clothes is on your body is a source of agriculture. You cannot live being naked. No, I don't need it. The clothes that we wear on our body is a source of agriculture. At this point of time, no, I don't need it.
I expected this debate to be hotter than what it is now, but I think I will explain later what you are experiencing now. Can I call on the third speaker in the opposing side to come forward? Is that supposed to be Unveiled now? Put your hands together for her.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Standing before you is Unveiled Peter from Naka Memorial Secondary School, Banyam. This house believes that agriculture and not technology is the best means of revolutionizing the Mwaghavul's economy. And I'm here to negate that proposition with the following points. It reduces labor costs and physical strain. In the sense that technology has brought us, the influence of technology has reduced labor costs. The labor that we're supposed to be doing, the technology has brought out machineries for us to use. Thereby, it reduces the labor cost and also physical strain. The way it reduces physical strain, my audience, you agree with me that agriculture, farming, physical farming, you do it with your hands. It brings a lot of stress. But here, technology has made it more easier for us. No thanks. It has made it more easier for us to make our work faster, and also it makes us not to be stressful. And I heard the opponent from the second speaker, he said that the third speaker, he said it makes people lazy. But technology do not make people lazy. It thereby gives them the morale to create more. No, thank you. It gives them the ability to create more. It gives them that insight they want to create and explore. If we use technology in our society, in the Mangu nation, the Mwaghavul nations, we are going to see that it will boost the economy. Because when we are using technology, even these cameras and many things that we have, laptops, phones, is the influence of thank you. It is the influence of technology that brought up all that. And we cannot say that we are going to neglect. No, thank you. We are not saying that we should neglect the agricultural. We should neglect the agriculture because yes, it preserves our culture, but we will not depend solely on agriculture, because when we depend on agriculture alone, we are not going to grow fast. Our economy will not be boosted. And here it will not revolutionize the Mwaghavul nation. Also, it presents challenges to traditional models to economic development. In the sense that it presents challenges for the agricultural sectors. Not saying the agriculture, yes, they use to continue the agriculture, they use the technology to do the agricultural things. Like the hose is made up of technology. We will say that you all will agree with me that no, thank you. You all will agree with me that these poles that we are using, it is the influence of technology that brought about the hole.
Point of information.
No, thank you. It brought about the holes that we use, and we know that technology increases day by day. So as the
information.
Yes, Lord.
How does a phone have to relate with agriculture?
Good. A phone will relate with agriculture in the sense that you will be able to call your customers and also advertise your product of agriculture. You will agree with me that when we use technology has brought the influence from phones. It increases, it boosted when the technology brought about the host. We notice that we do that when we use the host, it has now upgraded to the technology, the harvesters, tractors. Thank you. That's brought about the harvesters, tractors for us to use to be on our economy, to boost our economy. Because we cannot just say, let us use technology alone or let us use agriculture alone. No, thank you. We cannot just use only one, but yet we have to combine the two. But yes, we can say that agriculture will help, but we cannot use agriculture alone. When we introduce technology, it will help us to thereby boost our economy so that we will be developed and not depending on other cultures or other nations. With these well-established points of mine, I hope you are not left behind that technology and not agriculture is the best means of revolutionizing the Mwaghavul's economy. Thank you.
Speaker on the side of Boys Secondary School to round up their points. Put your hands together for him, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back on my feet again to further negate the proposition this House believes. Agriculture and not technology is the best means to revolutionize Mwaghavul's nation economy. I have my opponents talking about laziness. Technology does not bring laziness. Technology actually brings forth creativity and innovation. Our youth today have a lot of potentials in them. And if technology is being introduced, you tend to figure out that they are going to put in their best, put in their creativity to get into new products. Rather than sticking to just agriculture, which provides us with food. We talked about the clothes you wear. Yes, the clothes you wear is being gotten from cotton, silk, and other things which are agricultural products. But then, it is technology that has helped in the processing of these products into shirts that you are using today, into the clothes we are wearing today. It is not just agriculture that processes it. They are using machinery. We have the machines like the moving machine, and a lot of them that are used in processing all these things. Even the food we eat, we do process them. A lot of things that are going around about in the society today are being processed. It is due to technology. Technology has therefore modified it. Because without this technology, therefore, you will not be having the clothes on that you will be wearing today. Because you just have cotton. What will the cotton do for you? Don't you process it? You rather process it. Ladies and gentlemen, not that we are neglecting the sector of agriculture, but then we need both hands. Agriculture and technology, if brought together, will work hard and develop the economy. But then, about 75 to 80% of technology should be seen, and then the remaining percentage should be for agriculture. Because we're not just here to depend on food. But man is not supposed to just depend on eating and just living. We're supposed to use and create. The creativity we have tends to make us who we are. And technology has helped us it has brought forth rooms where we can be able to create. And yes, agriculture cannot go without technology, because technology is more of like a driving force. You can't use your hands on the farm to produce crops. You need the equipment, and the equipment are brought due to technology. Technology has brought even the homes that we are using. It is technology that brought forth all these things. Technology has further modified our standard of living. It has brought us up into who we are today. And if it is being introduced into the Mwaghavul's nation, you tend to find that our economy will push to a higher pace that we can't even imagine. In the Indian sector, the agriculture, which just sticks to 15%. And yet, they are more developed than even the Mwaghavul nation today. And if the Mwaghavul nation will stick to technology, like other countries, the US, China, and the others, you tend to find out that we can be able to boost our economy to a higher pace. Technology is key in a nation's economy. And if the Mwaghavul nation will imbibe that and introduce it into the system, then we will go into higher pace. Mr. Speaker, sir, ladies and gentlemen, I hope with this well-established point of mine, I've brought all of you to the light. Yes, it is true that all roads lead to the promised land. If you decide to stay in Egypt and stick to the fact that agriculture is the best means, then you can remain. But it will be far better if you move with us to the promised land and agree with us that technology is the best means to revolutionize the Mwaghavul nation. Thank you.
Now, at the beginning, I told you, while we wait for the judges to put their marks together, I told you this is one of the newest debate formats that most of you do not know. I was just explaining to a colleague who was sitting behind me. He wouldn't know the rules governing this kind of debate. You see, they are all sitting and facing you, not the time that they used to face each other. And they are supposed to have a table here where they stand and talk and put their palm card on the table, not even holding it in the hand. It's against the rule. The other rule again is this point of information you hear. I wish they had used it very well here. You see, it's like a discussion, no more a normal debate that you know. And then anybody who is coming out to kind of round up the point, it could be any speaker, not the first speaker, not the second speaker, not the third speaker, any speaker. And mostly we look for the best amongst the speakers to do the rebuttal. It's a rule. And I told you, if they had used this point of information, I was just telling them, insist on your point of information. The essence of the point of information is to interrupt you from talking. And if possible, if you have the ability to answer the person and continue, that makes your debate perfect. It's a rule. But you see, I want to apologize on behalf of the students because the letters came when the students were vacating. And since not all of them reside within the same environment, we just managed to catch these ones and coerce them into doing what they did today. But I am sure next time when you call them to come to this stage, in fact, you want to have them more and more and more. Let's put our hands together for them once again. Now, the other rule that you might see that might affect the scoring here is that if you don't raise point of information, you lose marks. And then if a point of information is raised and you are not able to answer it, you will lose marks. And if you don't raise point of information completely, it's another wahala on its own. So, but you see, I'm hoping that subsequently we'll do what is better than what we have today. I don't know if the judges are ready. Participants for the quiz. Only the participants for the quiz will now walk out, will find a classroom where you do the quiz. Only, okay, the new building there. Only those invited for the quiz. Please, you can take your leave, go prepare and take your small exam. While we wait for the judges to give us the final score. We'll continue with the program from here. our own who wants to recite a poem. If she is here, Faith Emmanuel, are you here?
As you listen, may you be blessed. An echo that rises from the north central of Nigeria, a sweet rhyme that is heard from the 15 districts. What else could it be? A little pride of the future, a land of fertility, rising up in her serenity, royalty as an identity, a culture with significance of glory. The dancing steps are incredible. The young boys and girls are good inventors and creators. The old men and women are full of wisdom. The ancient cultural value coming back to modernization in the Mwaghavul Puus Kaat. The red, green, and yellow are symbols of superiority. History has it in full. What else could it be? Just as it is. How comes was that? A coruscating leadership that rises from the true son of the soil. Honorable Barrister Caleb Mutfwa. The sun shall shine, on plateau it shall rise, a strong bond from the blood, unity as totality. I rest beneath the shoulder of the great culture, the Mwaghavul. Thank you.
Go on a musical interlude for a few seconds, please. Speeches from the high table. So now, Marcus, you are invited to the stage.
Hello.
I'm greeting you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Now I want to present my songs titled Brightest. Okay, DJ.
Bye. I welcome Chepunu Demunchi, the community name, the moon pant, and the Gambia, Abutabachin Puus Kaat, the Munochin, the Chepunji, Kumunambi, the Mukam, the Muma Arataka. I want to welcome district leaders, Mudumu Kwape, Sashe Marmu, Sashe Yudmu, MD Noransat, Nkat Munchi, and Nkat teachers who talk different secondary schools that brought their children for this competition. I want to welcome all of us. Puus Kaat 2025 to me is a very special one, because the last time we came here as a people in the name of a symposium for a Puus Kaat, I think it was 2019. Am I right, National Secretary, sir? That was in 2019. After 2019, we were unable to meet again as a people like this. You will all remember that after 2019, then we got to the almighty 2023. That 2023, there was a lockdown, and it was not possible for any person to meet. We came out of the lockdown. We look forward to us coming together again in 2021. Then lo and behold, something happened again. We couldn't meet. You remember there was, I don't want to call some of these things crisis. There were attacks on our communities, and we had a reason to mourn as a people. We couldn't come to meet together to celebrate. At that time, we felt that we don't have any reason to celebrate. The only thing that we did was to go to God in the place of prayers. Then 2022, you all remember, we lost our paramount ruler. And then we came out of mourning for the people that were killed as a result of attacks. Then we now lost our paramount ruler. We now started mourning again. In 2023, the bigger one came. And that bigger one came was that there were simultaneous attacks on almost all our communities. It was not an easy experience. It wasn't an easy experience. I'm glad we are here today for Puus Kaat 2025. The theme of this Puus Kaat is revolutionizing the Mwaghavul nation's economy. We are leveraging on what our hand can do and what our brain can do. Leveraging on agriculture. You know, agriculture, we can go to the farm, and we are also leveraging on technology. I am sure, even from the debate, you will agree with me that the best thing you can ever do to yourself, the children, our children that are here, you are in school. I'm not actually saying that you will not go to get any work, but I am saying that the best thing you can ever do to yourself is to rely on yourself, count on yourself, think of how to put food on your table yourself. And we are saying that we can leverage on agriculture and leverage on technology to achieve that. It is my prayers that at the end of this symposium, by the time we dialogue together, we will come out with a framework that will help us, that will guide us in the next step that we need to take as a nation. As we discussed, although our paper presenter is not yet here, but I'm very sure that he will soon be around. As we discuss together, I want to encourage all of us that we should try our best to make the most of all the sessions. We will soon go into the crux of the matter. Finally, I welcome all of us, and I pray that the symposium will all have stories to tell at the end of the day. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Our President, sorry, to also bring us greetings. Please put your hands together.
And so therefore I want to say on behalf of the President of Mangu Development Association, stand here this morning to welcome all of us to this very, very unique program. Not forgetting those at the title, our Mishkaram is seated here, Baba, you are welcome, sir. The National General Secretary of Mwaghavul Development Association, Dr. Solomon Mangu, is also here. Welcome, sir. Our sister, Mrs. Grace Gora, the National President of the Women League, you are welcome this morning. The chairperson of the subcommittee of Symposium for this year's Puus Kaat 2025. And I want to also use this opportunity to greet all the organizers of this program. Our children have just participated in the debate. I was so elated the way the presentation went. I want to thank our brother, whom I saw doing a very wonderful job, coordinating very well. We appreciate him deeply. I want to also use this moment to appreciate our children who have availed themselves in the presentation of today's debate. I heard the way these children presented their debate process. Something very, very wonderful. And I thought we would have been impactful in this place so that we can hear our children doing something different that is affecting our life. So on that note, Jeffrey Secondary School, we plan on this. Channel Ledira Kawo, Kuma Bidu Chini Makranda, to Baoka, Lucas, second, then I move. So I appreciate all in Jesus' name. Maybe before I say something briefly, I want to quickly go through, because you see, the Puus Kaat, people look at Puus Kaat only the grand finale, and they think that is all about Puus Kaat. No. We have said that the Puus Kaat is a program that will start on the 24th, on the 25th, and then we finish on the 26th. That's the grand finale. But all these things that we are doing form part of our Puus Kaat, and we will keep them as documents that will help us to know our tomorrow. Now, in the committee, we are aware that talking about revolutionizing Mwaghavul nation economy, it simply tells a story that something is wrong and needs a radical change. Something is not right, it needs a radical change. And that radical change needs people to know what are the indices, what are the things, the factors that are responsible. That when we look at these factors, we begin to say, okay, this is what we're going to do to achieve. And we're looking at agriculture. We're looking at technology. I remember in those years, we put some bomb PP. Sometimes like around 5 a.m. we have Puso, Chinwan, Puso, they are Puso, Saman. And sometimes I'm echoing and we have put them very well. We can to work at it with deep and then just go back for harvesting, we bring something just there. But today we are talking about that there is a need to bring technology into what? Into this agriculture, to be able to make us work and get more output. That means it has a long process because capital will be involved. Government will also be involved. If you are talking about all of this, yes, as she said, we're going to use our brains to think, to actively put some of these things in practice. But there are certain points of implementation of our thinking that will become practical, especially when we want to talk about the agriculture. It has a long way. Government will definitely come on because we need rural network, which will make it easier. We will need implement to be able to put this in right. So please, as the man who we have been invited for this program comes, I want everyone to sit down and gain something and benefit something. I think it will give us a lot. I want to use this time again to say thank you so much for coming, and I appreciate you. Tomorrow we will continue. Or maybe after this time I will go for football. No, sir. We are now football. These are the activities that I will line up for today. And then tomorrow we'll start Puus Kaat. Tomorrow the MDA, District Chairman and Secretary. The who Katidar Munji, the Pamuna Ape, according to we believe that these messages have arrived or have been stepped out to them. So thank you so very much. Dana, let it come with you.
I want to recognize the presence of these who just came in. The Royal Highnesses, Mishra Mangu and Mishra are welcome. The chairperson of the day, MD National Secretary, other members of the organizing committee and the high table, participants, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you this morning to this symposium. I'm highly delighted for this opportunity that has been given to me to bring my goodwill message. I want to speak a little on the importance of an occasion like this. From the program I have here, it seems the essence of the symposium has been captured earlier on, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say a little about the importance of the symposium. An occasion like this does not only give us an opportunity to reflect on what has happened in the past and looking at what we are doing today, but it gives us an opportunity to look into the future also. So at a symposium like this, it is also an occasion where the mind is sharpened. It is important. We don't only organize Puus Kaat only for dancing, drinking, eating, and so on. But we must bring our minds together to sharpen our minds and look into the future. I'm highly impressed with the topic and the theme for this year, agriculture and technology. These are two key elements in the life of man that we can never do without. If truly we are to progress in the Mwaghavul land, and if truly our economy is to change and have an impact on our lives, these two important things, we must never joke with them. Traditionally, the Mwaghavul man is known as a farmer. But when we talk about agriculture, it does not end only on the farm and livestock raising. We also have, in fact, the agro-marketing, that is the agro-business. You don't farm, you don't rear cattle, but you work in agriculture as a businessman. You can be an off-taker and so on. So agriculture is all encompassing. And similarly, technology is very important. It is key in agriculture. If we depend on the local form of agriculture, we will never leave our present station at the rate at which we expect to live. So I believe we leverage on technology in order to fast track our agricultural development and improve our economy. I want to congratulate the organizers of this symposium for this very important aspect. I am somebody who believes in nurturing the mind. The mind and the brain, they work together in order to improve the human being. So any occasion that involves mind shaping and brain working, I'm always interested in it. And I hope that our children that have spoken here and participated in one or two aspects of the symposium, you will rise up to the occasion to take this as a challenge. You are in secondary school, but very soon you will find yourself in tertiary institutions and in other aspects of the society, the economy of the society. Please take it as a challenge that this is a stepping stone. You are only starting, and it will improve your tomorrow. Perne an bangun kemen namu. Impula des peru cina des kengkap inci ne toksik ni. Bahan dang na ne ya kal cicin soldadar benagun soldamun keru leku kes Puus Kaat ne kera cerke bidumu ya kal ya yille ko cin se ne na re bon na re pa mon kishi le keru mun kes Puus Kaat ne kera ko ba wa ko de kera dada funu ne rebe cicin funu impula des.
He's a very serious scholar, an academician, and a professor with the University of Jos. He was once upon a time my head of department at Federal College of Education, Pankshin. And I learned so much from him, especially giving right and correct leadership. Our team is on agriculture and technology. Our guest speaker is a biochemist. And from that, you all know that he's very, very qualified to present this speech to us. Apart from that, our guest speaker has won a lot of research grants as far as research is concerned, and I'm sure he will be presenting to us, stirring our hearts to see what we can do so that we can do it better. Our guest speaker, sir, you are welcome. You are welcome. Our paramount leaders, because we need to all benefit, and the people on the item, my dear President and my dear Secretary. Okay, it's okay. I thought it's not up. I was thinking that it's not up. If it is up, then it's fine. You can actually make use, you can see through this screen. Provision has been made. I was thinking that it's not up. So, before I give him the mic, what will happen is that all of us are going to listen keenly. We believe that every person that is here has an idea. So it's not about listening to only our guest speaker. By the time he's done, we are going into clusters. We have people that are rapporteurs, they will taking down notes for us. And then we'll be going into different clusters to discuss different topics. Where all of us will actually contribute. By the time
the title, the theme, the focus, the key issue is economy. Long linear yield, or long linear Musa. We are talking about the economy. Has been very conscious of how he could sustain himself, his family, and the community. Fundamentally, in the economy of the Mwaghavul man, traditionally, agriculture has been the backbone. So if you are talking about farming, it's not new to the Mwaghavul man. It's not. So we will not say too much about that. And we know that traditionally as well, the family size meant a lot for the Mwaghavul man. The more people you have, the more young men you have, the larger the farmland you can cultivate, the more bags you will bring in, the bigger granaries you are going to have. And so the measure of wealth was considered in the perspective of how long does the food you harvested last year takes you to the next one. I was told that my grandfather did not used to eat fresh acha. It will always be the one that has stayed 1 year. So the one he harvests this year will be for next year. They will only eat the old one.
And that, from there, I was made to understand that that is a demonstration of work. So thinking about the economy. Mwaghavul man had a way of buying and selling. I may be wrong, maybe new ones are coming up. MDA will correct me. So this has added value to the economy of the Mwaghavul man, even today. We also have small and medium enterprises emerging. When you walk through our communities, the district, the villages, you see small enterprises arising. Somebody has a small generator, he's powering something, and you come around that place and you see a number of things happening. That's already an enterprise. So that is part of the economy of the Mwaghavul nation. And our people are known for entrepreneurship. And I noticed that in Redfield, we have a water platform. And we title it Mwaghavul Got Talent. So it's a platform where Mwaghavul people that have skill to do something, they should advertise it for Mwaghavul people on that platform. We should be able to market our brothers. You are a mason, you can roof, you are a carpenter, you are a tiler, whatever that it is, advertise there on that platform. Because we recognize that Mwaghavul man can be very, very enterprising. So we see entrepreneurship even there. Today we have emerging sectors. The white man introduced education to us. It's an emerging sector. So whatever that we can generate through the white man's system of education, and then technology is new. Just like what I'm doing, what we are using, all of this young man, this is part of technology. It's an enterprise. And it is emerging. People are improving on it daily. Weddings today, our drums are disappearing because of the emerging sector. You go for a wedding and it's DJ only. I'm watching it. It looks like we are making progress, but something is also happening. So we have emerging sectors. We have people that can repair phones, can repair computers. They do a number of things. Package water in different forms, that is part of it. So on a general note, the Mwaghavul nation is already conscious of our economy. But let me say this. I don't know whether it is a coincidence or it is just that it is time for it. The Gas Development Association is also having symposium right now. Their Puus will be tomorrow. And if you look at the focus of the discussion in the gas nation, is also the economy of the gas nation. So is it coincidence or is it that it is time? You know, when the wind begins to blow and somebody is able to breathe that wind, then you know that you will be in tune with what is about to happen. So I think that we should be conscious that it is possible that it is time. Let's not allow this time pass us by. But it is very important that we are thinking this way. Secondly, globally, every nation, whether tribal or state, needs to work on. I like something that the present government of America is doing, and this is one thing I like. The president is steering everybody to work on. That's my description. He's not asking you to give him what you have, but go and manage your own. We are no longer giving aids. Go and manage your own resources. Is it not economy? He's stimulating people to think. Since he made the pronouncements on what European nations should do, in fact, I checked it, for 4 weeks, every week, presidents in Europe were having meetings. moving from one country to the other, discussing how they will change things in their country, increasing vote for security and other things. UK cut down her own budget for aid to other nations and added that cut to security. It means where you used to get funding from UK, you may not get again. What is it telling us? Go and check your own economy. So I think it is quite good. It's a wind that is blowing, and I hope that it will blow us properly to the right direction and in the right speed. However, the Mwaghavul nation is having issues as far as the matter of economy is concerned. There are problems that are associated with the economy of the Mwaghavul nation. So if you look at it, I tried to list some of them, but there could be a lot more. We have the trouble of infrastructure. We have the trouble of infrastructure. Our road network, transportation to the villages of Mwaghavul land or within Mwaghavul nation, very poor. Electricity and water supply, would we consider that? We live in darkness. Although water will be available anywhere you see a Mwaghavul settlement is. That I know. That determines where people settle. So in terms of water, we may not be worse hit, but we do not have power. And there was a saying that there cannot be development in darkness, particularly modern day development. Our economy will improve if we have that. Sanitation and healthcare. Yes, averagely, there is a fair presence of what we would say healthcare services, but it is not the best that it could be. I'm not sure whether we have issues with women having to move long distances to enjoy healthcare antenatal. I'm not sure in Mwaghavul land. Almost all communities tend to have primary healthcare centers, but I'm sure we can improve on that so that maternal health can be better. Our agriculture, part of it, our agricultural practices are not technology driven. It's also a challenge. We have also the challenge of finance and market access. Yes, we have good markets around us, but these are local. The issue of the status, our economic value, our income, how much do you earn in a month, how much do you earn in a year, if you check it, you discover that it's low. That is a problem. And then, in the circumstance that somebody may be able to access loan, facilities for providing that are also scarce. And then it has to be a commercial bank, and it is a difficult situation. Then we are not sure we are connected internationally with all that we generate. So the best may be within Nigeria, and sparingly exports. But policies of government change a lot of things. Border closure to foodstuff means all we produce will be eaten at home. And it's one of the factors why prices of foodstuff are not rising. Because the policy of government says do not export. Social and cultural issues. This is for me the major issue. We are too focused on traditional mindset. We have a traditional mindset such that when a technology is introduced, we may not be available to accept it. So if we address that, that would help us a lot. Our level of education and skill are also low, particularly if we must impact the economy. We have social inequality and corruption. There are issues, mismanagement of resources, and then we have a very hot matter, potential displacement of traditional livelihood, and that borders on insecurity. That is a very serious issue. It's a challenge. So, it's a challenge. So these are some of the problems that I have listed for our consideration that are impacting the economy of the Mwaghavul nation. The second key issue is agriculture. And I've said that agriculture is our mainstay as far as the Mwaghavul nation is concerned. So we are not new to it. But I have listed 3 key areas that agri can help the Mwaghavul nation. Overall, it can help in economic transformation. And I have listed 8 possible ways that can happen. Some of these ways are overlapping with other aspects. For example, job creation and employment. This is real. This is real. This is real. And we can have jobs created. We can improve on the gross domestic product of Mwaghavul nation. We can have better food security and reduce poverty. We can become sources of raw materials for industries, and our agricultural products can become means of foreign exchange earnings. We can bring about infrastructural development. There can be great support for rural development, and if technology is integrated with agri, we would see greater yield and we would be better off. So, the second part of agricultural involvement is the enlargement on rural development. We are talking about the role of agri in the economic transformation. So, listing the top 3 nations, tribal nations on the plateau. I am not sure you would not have already passed the Mwaghavul nation in terms of educational advancement. Go and check how these people went to school. Farming. And so it is very important to note that agri can help us in the access to education and healthcare. It can help in environmental sustainability and land conservation when we practice the agricultural methods well. It can enhance women and youth empowerment. And if we apply technology, it will increase this to very great dimension. There is a ministry that the second arm of it is in poverty reduction. And agriculture has a very, very key role to play. And I have listed 10 ways in which agri can lead to poverty reduction. Yes, it will create jobs, it will increase income, put money in your pocket, provide for food, and it would help in establishment of businesses that are agri-linked and bringing about rural enterprises. It can bring about access to market and trade opportunities. Some people will have reason, you are sitting in your village, but you are transacting business with people across the shores of Nigeria. It can bring about empowerment of women and youth. It can help in sustaining a resilient climate. We are battling with climate change. And I tell you that agri can help in that, and this would help in reducing poverty. Then it can improve access to financial services. It can also bring about the development in infrastructure in the rural areas. And if we adopt innovative technology, the speed with which this will occur would be very many. So, we are looking now at the second key word, which is technology. We have the third rather. We have economy, we have agri, we have technology. And I chose to start by just putting a few things on the traditional technology of the Mwaghavul people. And if we look at what is on the paper, we would see that the Mwaghavul man traditionally, he understood that his bare hands would not give him what he could do the way he wanted it. So he began to employ technology. Technology is the use of any other material that can help you do what you are supposed to do with your bare hands better. That is already the beginning of technology. So when they began to use sticks to dig out things, that was already technology. Then they grew to fabrication using metals. They were doing smelting and so on and so forth. So I categorize the areas of traditional technology into subsections, and we have technology that was geared towards agricultural improvement. They developed tools and techniques, and we know that we had all kinds of hoes. The hoes have also gone through technological improvement. There was the type that Chan grip. Today you bring that type of hoe, we cannot use it because of the weight. Today we have improved hoes. That's technological advancement. A Mwaghavul chap doing BSc Agri can take that as a project. How has technological advancement in the Mwaghavul nation transit? And then go back there, have pictures, do documentation, and we are already documenting, and it will be a contribution to development. We had digging sticks, our people who told them that they could make piston and mortar from trees. That was technology, so that they could use it for pounding. They built granaries. Who told them that they could devise that for storage? That was technology. In fact, innovation of their time. There was blacksmith and metal work. They were making a lot of things. They were hunters, and of course, by their trade, they were making tools that will help them. There was weaving and textile production. They were making a great deal of stuff in that direction. They were making pots. They were creating other forms of craft. They were building houses. They had technology in their housing system. They were making bricks. Who told them to make houses? Weather was harsh, and the idea came, if we gather this like this, it will protect us from the harsh weather. That was technology. They were roofing it. Who told them that when they go cut grass and make it well, it can cover? That was technology, and so on and so forth. They were hunters, they were catching fish, and they developed technology to enhance all of this. People were falling sick, and they had traditional medicine. They had herbal knowledge, and they were doing this. And let me tell you this story. I used to share this story when we are discussing with students in traditional biotechnology as we advance into modern biotechnology. There was a hunter. He went out hunting, and the man was the one that shared the story. He saw an animal, and when he saw this animal, he immediately took very good position in order to shoot. But he noticed that the animal was not stable, was not steady. It will run, cut a leaf, then run back to a spot with the leaf. It will drop the leaf there, wait for a while. Then, after that while, it will leave that spot, run back to another tree, cut the leaf, and run back to that same spot with the leaf and drop it and wait a while. And nothing happened, it will go back to another leaf, cut the leaf and go back there. So this hunter decided not to shoot the animal. He said, let him see what drama was happening. So it got to cut one leaf finally and brought to that spot. So when it got back there, dropped that leaf, it didn't move to cut another leaf. Then he looked steadily at where it was. He noticed that there was a second animal on the ground. There was a second animal on the ground. And he noticed he was crawling gently towards the spot. Then he noticed that the second animal on the ground was actually trying to deliver its baby. So he noticed that that last leaf, as soon as the animal that was on the ground ate it, immediately the baby came out. He didn't shoot the animals. His interest was which tree did it bring last, and that was the discovery. He went back the tree, cut some of the leaf, and went home with it, and that became a solution to labor in that community. So this happened, and that was how discoveries were made. The Bible tells us that we should go out into the nature, right? And then you will learn many things. Our people were involved in grinding. They were using stones. Who told them that they should make the stones? Technology. Fermentation. How did our people know how to make alcoholic beverages? In food preservation, our people had several ways of doing it. We are exploring the technology of the Mwaghavul man. Sun drying, smoking, fermentation, storage in granaries and underground, salting, oil, use of oil, put storage in pots for cooling. We are struggling with electricity to drink cold water. We should go back to making our pots. Women leader, you who can take us back there. We have those pots and we can cool our things. So that is just an overview of the kind of technology in Mwaghavul Nation. But I want to draw our attention to what goes on generally. Technology today is a key tool for the economic transformation anywhere. Anywhere. Developed nations are looking out for new technologies and taking them over and ensuring that their people apply them. Young people, you are the ones that have the future as far as what we are talking about is concerned. And you are the ones that can use this. We have digital skills. And these are extremely very important. So important. You must not be a computer scientist before you go into that. But obviously, we can go there and find it very useful. And technology encourages startups. People can start businesses. Today, children are still undergraduates and they have companies registered in their name. You know, this thing surprises me. I say, this generation. My son, who is about graduating, daddy is registering a company. And I said, wow, at 400 level, you're already earning money. Because it's your age. And that is the digital technology. How it can turn around things. Some of us were graduates working before we knew what having a company is like. It can help as well in infrastructural enhancement. If technology and agriculture are integrated, then you would see that there will be a great difference. There will be a great difference. So integrating technology into agriculture, when that is done and done properly, help us a lot. It will bring about what is called precision agriculture, where and which season. Then you can do a lot of monitoring to know why, what, and so on at different moments. So we have drones and satellites that can be useful. We can have automated machinery and robotics. We can have Internet of Things in agriculture. We can deploy artificial intelligence and machine learning to enhance this. Biotechnology and genetic engineering is another, where we can have all breeds and all kinds of organisms that would be useful in bringing about what we want. So, in the slides, we try to put pictures and other images to add value to it. Blockchain in agriculture can be very, very important. It will enhance transparency. We can use hydroponics and vertical farming, where there are challenges of space, of land, and so on and so forth. Our population is growing. So if we don't plan towards this, we think we can always have large farming all the time. It won't go on forever. One day, we will be looking for land to farm, and we will be surprised that we will not see. The Gwari people in Abuja, if someone had told them 100 years ago that one day they will no longer have this space, they will say, my friend, get out. But it has come to pass. It has come to pass. My father told us a story, because he worked with the white man in tin mines then. And they went and explored tin in the then Abuja area. When they were done, he told us that the white man asked him, will he come back home or he will want to remain there? Tell me, if you are the one now, what would have been your answer? At the time he told us this story was when I was posted for NYC to Abuja. I said to my NYC, I'm going to Abuja. He said, hey, and we would have been in that Abuja. Then he started telling us the story. So they experienced the Abuja when it was that type of settlement, rural place. And even then, in the early 90s, 91, 92, when we went for the NYC, it was principally bush. Most of the developed places then, we were working on food and passing. But it's different today. So I'm just illustrating this, that let's not think that somebody, that's why I say a wind is blowing for thinking. We may think that we still have vast farmlands. It may not be too far. Something may happen. Then we will be scrambling for space to farm. And that is when we will remember that we need to start thinking about these kinds of technologies. We have organic fertilizers, and people are developing it. I was privileged in the present administration of the University of Jos, appointed to serve as the director of the Center of Biotechnology and Genetic Engineering, possibly because of my engagements in research in that area. And the center has about about 800 hectares of farmland in Lantan South local government. So the vice chancellor and management said, why should we have such? Why should the university have such a farmland and we cannot generate revenue from them? So last year, the management said, mobilize and go and put part of that farmland to use. We cultivated 170 hectares of the farmland last year. For rice, white maize, yellow maize, soybeans, and sesame, which is venison. And it was a whole experience. This year, early this year, a team of Russians came into Nigeria. And they were looking for universities that are involved in farming. And University of Jos, because of that, stood out. So the company came to Jos. And we had our physical meeting in the Chancellor's boardroom. And a team in Russia. So it was a tele-meeting. They were there. We were here with their team. And we had a discussion. They are looking for a university that will deploy their technology in agri. We've been discussing with the head of the team up to now, because the last discussion we had was they will do an estimate of what it will cost, because they want us to do the first cycle by an experiment. They will fund everything. What brings this to my mind is organic fertilizer. One of the technologies that the Russians are bringing is fertilizer. And they have done the experiment. They say they don't bring their technology and say, take, go and use. No. They want a university to do the experiment. Be convinced that it works the way they are saying it before they begin to tell the people to use it. They have a spot in Tanzania. The leader of the team in Tanzania came with them. And I have the videos of all of such involvement. The way they do it. And the good thing about their fertilizer, you can drink. It's organic 100%. It's not poisonous. They drank it. The company producing it, the manager, the GM of the company was in the team. They put it for him and drank. Everybody drank. Now that is the fertilizer. So there is no harm. It's organic. It's organic. So there is nothing like a child made mistake and took it and then you start running. No. That is exciting. So it's a test that Plateau is going to benefit from. They want, and I know, once we are convinced, the first place, being the head of the research, I'm the one that will direct everything. The first place we will take it now. So we want to see how that will transform the other technologies that go with it. So this is very good. Some of our brothers are involved in formulation of organic fertilizers, but I'm not sure of how good they are. And I tell you, it's because of these shortcuts that we suffer. These are people that are from a fairly developed nation. They want you to test it, be convinced, then go for it. So we will do the testing this season by the grace of God. And for those that will be interested to witness it, why not? It's just that Lantan South is far. But we want to see, I've been thinking whether we could get some hectares of farmland here and also do the testing. So we can embark on smart irrigation using technology. A Mwaghavul man is involved in smart irrigation. And I went to his farm. He invited me. I will not say his name. When I went and saw, talking about landmass, the kind of trees, there is no tree species on the farm that the number is less than 2,000. None. The smallest number was 2,000. So he said, you need a vehicle to go around the farm. And that is already one of us involved in it. He said, come and see it, because you people that are involved in biotechnology and all of this can add value to his thinking. So we are doing it at individual level. When technology is incorporated in agri, we can have access to better market, e-commerce, and it can lead to advancement substantially. So that is actually very, very general for us. Today, marketing, you could use phones in your farming, you could enhance a lot of things, and I did the PowerPoint in order to increase our understanding. So there was this. Okay. I put 3 case studies. 3 case studies. The Kenyan experience, the Israel experience, and the China experience. On the paper, that is page 18. So, China is an African country. It's working. I have mentioned Tanzania in the Russian technology. It's working. For Israel, the government of Jonathan introduced the Israeli agricultural practice to us, and I think it's working. I think ASTC is using machinery from Israel. This is working. That was the machine that harvested our rice on the farm last year. Chinese agri-tech boom is, the Chinese are going. It's the largest economy, and they are not joking with any sector. They have introduced technology in agri, and it is changing everything. It is possible for us. Why am I emphasizing on this? Because of our major problem, traditional mindset. That's why I chose to bring this volume, so that somehow these young ones would understand and they will be delivered from the traditional mindset. Their own generation will be better off. You started it, you may not be expecting a miracle in 2026 farming season, but we are hopeful that would require innovation. This kind of change would require technology as well. So I have introduced this term innovation. Innovation is the introduction of something new, something that is a novel change or a new way of doing things. Document in 2020, he said we can do things differently and we can do different things. Innovation is not only about developing the most sophisticated technology. Sometimes it's the simplest of things. However, be bold, be revolutionary, because without innovation, there is no way we can overcome the challenge of our time. That statement is from the Secretary General of the United Nations. Food and Agricultural Organization is an arm of the United Nations. Also defines agricultural innovation as the process whereby new or exciting products, processes or ways of organization are used for the first time in a specific context in order to increase their effectiveness, competitiveness, and resilience, with the goal of contributing towards food security and nutrition, economic development, and sustainable natural resource management. This emphasizes the place of innovation if we must see the revolution we desire. So, I have listed areas where we can think about bringing the change, the revolution. See them as suggestions, see them as recommendations, see them as points that demand action, and see them as call to action. Area number 1 is leadership. And I tell you, I agree with Professor Stephen Ade. He's a professor of economics in Ghana. Let me tell you a little about him. Anytime there is a discussion on leadership, I remember Professor Stephen Ade. I met him in Ghana in 2003. And in the introduction, he was introduced to me as the chairman of the Ghanaian economic team that changed the economy of Ghana the way it is. So each time there is a reason to think, and this statement comes to my mind, I value it. He chaired the committee that transformed the economy of Ghana. And he said this, he said, leadership is the cause, all else is effect. And that is why I'm putting the area that requires innovation. The first area is leadership. If the traditional council, if MDA, if our district units, if villages would wake up, if family heads would wake up and provide the right kind of leadership, then we would have started. So leadership is the primary issue. This prof said leadership is everything. And he then shared the testimony of how they changed the decisions they took to turn around the economy of Ghana. When he was made to be the chairman, as a professor of economics, they invited a Briton to come and help them. And the amazing thing, the man they invited, the professor they invited from Britain, was Professor Stevens' PhD supervisor. So when they went to bring him from the airport, he saw him, he said, "Bro, why did you disturb me? I didn't need to come because you are here. I've given you all the skills, but because you insisted, I've only come to help you." And today, Ghana is better off. Why am I bringing this story? That it is possible if we are serious about leadership. If we are serious. So we must begin from there. Then, the second area that will require innovation is agriculture itself. And I have said that yes, agriculture has several stages. And I have listed some of these here. And let me share a little that the experience of 2024 for me, managing a project of about 170 hectares of 5 different varieties of crop, was not an easy experience. There is no school that I would have gone to gain that experience. I told the chairman that get somebody in agri to come and do this. She insisted. I didn't want to tell her this one. I said, maybe it is because of these experiences. But the last time I went to the farm, before last year, was 1994. It was 30 years last year. So when the letter appointed me to chair the committee, because and then double as the director of the Center of Biotech, managing those farmlands, this came to my mind that last year was my 30th year of not going to any farm. The last time I went to the farm and carried my money and put in farm was in 1994. I told the committee members, of course professors on the team as well and other specialists, that it was an experience. The university is committed to continuing on a bigger scale. In fact, on more commercial crops this year. More so that the Russians are coming in and being interested. So, the value, my understanding of the place of seed change. I don't know the kind of seeds that we have. So if we must bring in innovation, I tell you, Mwaghavul people, we can go into seed production and generate massive wealth. It's not farming for eating, but you're growing commercial seeds. And so, from my knowledge of biotechnology, let me share this. We teach this to students. And we try to use avenues like this to educate people. I know, Irish potato. We have all kinds of variety of Irish potato coming in, high yielding. Then let me ask this question. The Irish potato that was originally being cultivated in Mwaghavul land, who still has it? Who still has it? Presently, we are looking for ground to look for those original seeds for preservation. When the NAFDA, which is an agency in the Federal Ministry of Science and Tech, organized an international biotechnology forum, and those of us directors of centers of biotechnology in universities in the 6 geopolitical zones, we were personally invited to be part of that forum. And you know, the Ministry of Science and Tech also has an agency, biosafety agency. I discussed with the DG of that biosafety on this problem. You want to guarantee safety of products. How far are you going with the safety of native seeds and seedlings? You are only thinking that, okay, if those of us in the research cycle develop a new species of plant, then that is when your work starts. But our people have been farming, and they are bringing in new seeds to replace the old seeds. So, what is happening to the old seeds? Where are they? Please go and start that. It should be part of the venture. There is a fear. There is something that is happening in biotech. You know, most of these seeds is biotechnology products. So we know the secret. If we do not take measures as a people, a time will come. Rain will fall back. You have horse, you have fertilizer, but you cannot go to the farm. Time is going to come if we don't take measures. Why? Because you won't have this.
Okay, sir. Okay, if it comes, okay. It's okay, sir.
To make comment that this is my helper, my classmate that made this wonderful presentation. I'm proud of you. There are so many things that my own is a comment. There are so many things that one would have said concerning this, but I want to just bring one or two. One of the things that it's a problem concerning technology is, thank God, the speaker of ecology friendly. We in agriculture, we're having problems, and that's why one of the questions that the last person asked is relevant. If we want to bring in technology, we need to bring in relevant technology, because some of the machines that we are bringing in from overseas, they cause damage to our soil, and sustainability of production becomes a problem. So anytime we are talking about technology, as far as we are concerned, we should also be conscious of the machines that can adapt to our environment. Let me give you a simple example. If you bring the hoe that the people in Plateau South are using to Mangu, you will do just but nothing. That is what it means. If the machine is not designed for this environment, it will rather cause problems. Now, another thing is, he talks about the endangered species of our seeds and probably the technology that we have. I was privileged to be among a delegation of Federal Republic of Nigeria to Czech Republic in 2019. Some experts were asked to go to Czech Republic to get acquainted
with the technology there, with the aim of transferring those technology to Nigeria, and I was privileged to be one. Now, one thing that I observed is what they have for moving agricultural technology in movement, where you will see the revolution or the evolution of the technology from the crude one up to the current model. So I think that the speaker has challenged us today. There is a need, even as a nation, for us to have a movement that would display our technology right from the beginning, just agri technology, and it will help. And some people will work on that and bringing those innovations and work on it. Then we will still have our own technology being sustained, rather than depend only on the foreign one. So I think I want us to stop on this one. Thank you and God bless.
Keep presenting. I think I also suffered a loss. We took our seeds and we went to plant. When we planted the seeds, we were happy and excited. I went to check my farm. The farm was so fine. But at the point, about 3 or 4 weeks, no rain. And at that time, I had already applied fertilizer. And from the point I applied that fertilizer, there was no rain again. And unfortunately for me, my closest neighbor, their own was doing fine. The lack of rain didn't affect their own. I then asked, what could I have done differently? Was it the problem of the timing of my planting, or what happened? And I think a lot of people suffered a lot of loss. 2024 planting season because of that lack of rain. What can we do to, we are already preparing our seeds. If I go back with loss this year again, I may not have the strength to go back to the farm. After saying that, I want to also say this. A chairman of 2025, Puus Kaat, you will all agree with me that there are a lot of things to be done. They have to check everything. As a result of that, they may be going out. The chairman, our national vice president, and our secretary, when they do, please understand that they value this session. It's just that they must attend to those other issues. Thank you.
How can you, using technology, help us to bridge this gap by still planting improved seeds and also getting people enlightened on the need of preserving the ore so that it will be helpful to us? And then I'll comment on something you said, that we have to be deliberate. I think that's a key thing. We must be deliberate in a lot of things that we do today. And I think this is a challenge to the leadership. But I will say it here that some of the challenges with resourceful people in Mwaghavul land, the MGA leadership is going to be on top of most of this situation. Because so far, the leadership is thinking along some of these lines, but you have opened our eyes to another perspective that is key to the economy of the Mwaghavul land. And I'm quite sure that when we partner with what we have done today and the traditional council, I think in the next 5 years, the Mwaghavul land will be a place for pilgrimage for people to come and learn about technology, agriculture, and the economy. So I'll commend you for this, and I pray that God will continue to strengthen you as we move forward in making humanity better in all ramifications. Thank you.
This is hazardous substance that affect us and our environment. How can we cope with this?
Time to be in our midst. I also want to applaud organizers of this symposium theme, the topic that was chosen, Revolutionizing global economy through agriculture and technology. Very, very up. You know, in any economy, once people's stomach are not well fed, you can be sure that they have a problem. And so, I'm talking particularly to the young ones in our midst. Please take this issue of agriculture very, very serious. You know, when you talk of the basic needs of man, the first and most important one is food, and maybe clothing and shelter. You know that once the stomach is full, your problem is reduced significantly. So
I know my people will need it. So we want to see how that will be. Weeding. We don't, well, in Latansa we don't need to weed. You don't, it's difficult. You need you use herbicides. In harvest, if you have 10 hectares, you can't use hand. You can't use hand. So we need combined harvester. And I think I saw a combined harvester. That's the one we are discussing for the university to buy. And we have a recommendation from an engineer that it is the FM wall. It's easy, is easy to manage, is cost effective, and it will harvest almost all the crops that we have. It was that one that crushed maize for us, the maize we harvested. We harvested the maize manually. We bought this fabricated thresher. It didn't do it for us in the speed we wanted. So this thresher, this harvester was passing. And they said, their machine can thrash maize. We said, come and do it. Let me tell you, we had one heap of white maize, the other heap of yellow maize that we would have possibly taken 2 weeks to thrash. They finished everything in less than 3 hours. Everything. The machine will just drive, pack the maize. You don't need to peel it. Go into the machine, thrash it, blow it, wind is taking off the chaff, and then you burn straight. So it saves a lot. It saves a lot. Yes, I was told that the average price is 45 million. That sounds big for a low-income nation. But one man that had the machine told us he bought in one season, he raised the 45 million. One season. So the second season was 100% his gain. Then the third season he sold it and bought another one. And he sold it for 25 million. Because it wasn't weak. The person will still make his money from it. So it is possible for people that have resources to go for it. Or 2-3 people go for it, cooperative can get it. And I tell you, it's done. We'll be revolutionizing the economy of the Mwaghavul nation when we go into this. Then you are talking of market. Market will not be waiting to bring it to Mangu, go take it to Pushit, Keram, and back or so on. No. Off-takers. Off-takers. And they take it off from you at good price. And we can attract process enterprises that will process what we are farming. Beyond farming, harvesting, storing, we will attract processing. There could be enterprises that will be established. At least we have grass cereal on the block. We didn't have it before. It has come and we may attract more. Then I want to suggest that the festivals that we have, we could make them to be of better economic value. Connecting them to deliberate purposes of tourism and economy. So that we do deliberate showcasing of what we have, what we generate, we should be deliberate also to boost the confidence of investors by security issues. I know we know this is an issue in our hands, but we can be deliberate about it. When we succeed, we can be sure we can have investors coming in. I brought in the issue of policy. We can make policies as a nation. And I know that some of the policies may not see the light of day if government thinks otherwise, or government is going in the opposite direction. But I am not sure there is any government that will emerge on the platform that a Mwaghavul man will not be part of. And that should be part of our strategy. That should be part of our strategy. Mwaghavul community in the University of Jos, for example, let me cite this. When Mr. Kerar died, I'm sure you know, in Pushi, but he retired just about a year and then died. He was the coordinator of MGA on the campus, University of Jos. So the person that was working closely with him came and met me. He said, Prof, this is what we have, the challenge we have of coordination, of handling issues, talking about what should we do, how do we go about it, and I was just wondering. Then an issue came up. I told him, I said, unfortunately, as a people on this campus, we don't have policy. We are not deliberate, but there are smaller nations, smaller tribes on the campus that are deliberate. Anytime there is a change of government, they will scheme until one of them is part of the leadership. I said, we are many and we don't think it's automatic for us. I said, we lack that. It's connected to policy. That's why I'm bringing this small example. And I tend to see it expanding in the larger Mwaghavul nation. We are not deliberate on many things. Maybe because we are too many. Smaller nations that are feeling threatened are more deliberate and more strategic. So let's see how we can have policies on how we can integrate systems for good with ideas that will help us and help others. Financial access, we must innovate in this area. I know we have a Mwaghavul Microfinance Bank. It can do better and we can have a lot of others. We can go into public-private partnerships. We can innovate in this area. Manpower development. We can enhance agricultural education. We can invest in digital infrastructure. Individually, even as a nation. We have people that are skilled in blacksmith and fabrication. I think we can generate money in this direction. We can encourage youth participation in agriculture. Let me share the German experience. Well, I didn't experience it by myself, but my wife did, and she shared this with me. Under GIZ, they went for a program in Germany. And she said they took them to an agric village. And by the size of that agric, what they call in Germany, agric village, is the size of Abuja. The way you see Abuja is, that is the way that agric village is. That in that place, they don't have wires, electricity wires. Their power, their 100% is solar. The whole of that village is solar. And there were enterprises, farm enterprises there that were up to 150 years old. Great-grandchildren were the ones managing. So, and it's because of encouraging youth that make me remember this story. That once as a father, you are handing over to your son that enterprise to manage. Automatically, you are put on pension as a father. So you don't have anything to bear. You are put on pension. The son that is accepting to go into agric, he's a big man automatically. But my wife told me that they were to have meeting with the farmers. They were waiting for the farmers to arrive. When the farmers started arriving, they started looking at each other. That the kind of vehicles the farmers drove to the meeting. That's no, they said these are not farmers. Because their idea is the traditional mindset. Germany has gone beyond traditional mindset. Agri is a big enterprise. And so, I thought I should share this, that the youth, we have to be deliberate to encourage this participation, and then the enterprises can go beyond 100 years. Great grandchildren are managing the enterprises. And governments provide market export automatically. So you don't need to struggle. So we can, I'm sure, start off processes. When we are part of government, we bring these ideas, we drive them, we know what we are having at home, and then it will become an advantage to us. So we can implement suitable practices, bringing eco-friendly farming methods. This deforestation, we cut down trees. You see, plant lands, we don't grow trees. We are not deliberate about it. When we were in primary school, everybody would grow a tree, nearly on a yearly basis. Today, zero. Our villages are plain. We don't have that. And if we deploy organic fertilizers, that will help us. We can have businesses as well. And we can have improved infrastructure. We can have roads. Many of these are supposed to be government driven. And why am I mentioning them? Because I believe that some of us can have influence in some governments that can make it positive, so that it becomes a holistic approach. And so, in the light of all of this, I would want to conclude that the Mwaghavul nation stands at a very pivotal point, where embracing modern agriculture and technology can drive economic growth and improve livelihoods. I believe that by addressing key challenges through innovation, investment, and policy reforms, the community can achieve sustainable economic transformation. Stakeholders, you and I, including government, private sector, and local farmers, must collaborate. We must learn to work together to implement strategic initiatives that will secure a prosperous future. So this seminar or this symposium keeps the economy of Mwaghavul nation. Thank you for the opportunity to stimulate your thinking in this direction. Yes.
We're supposed to have questions and answers from it, right? If we have questions for him. If there are questions.
The Logomera Watmar Yaksaka Sakmar Kamba, the Logom Sakas, Chinambidiku, Edipani, Wadidikoma. Picket Yassi Munapan Sakmar Munchinarang would be Yasano Nikam Kwakwan. Pedi pakle di pamun kemuyam nikas ket mudi yasa mene pedi na katungka chan ke kat pedi site kat godin mam chan mene tepan den ful so purka apodu cham senya mento kadimu na pa bi menum besi. That is to say, with examples and demonstrations. Kumuna pampi munu beni babun kumane kiet bide pun funumun cindak disi yasa ambide mun cindak disi muna demo kepak dia wa mumon sotin tulu mu cindak kiet mun katpak bimnu kumu na mandio mekas yasi panen katna ka pedi pamucin panik cikine kan enchin so dia ke petne tokon mun pege kamun de chinne bi ka kas mu katchede pedi sikas apa nan ni
trusting the controller of climate, we will have it better. Yes, so I think that's what I would say on that. There may be much more. My brother made comments, Dr. Sam. Yes, appreciate the comments. We must deploy relevant technology. That one is true. And that is why we love the approach of the Russians. They don't want you to take it. Test it first. Test it. Be convinced. Then start using it. So if it is good for you, then use it. And I think that is useful. Display of traditional technology as required. That Ilya Putman also raised that. That is true. In fact, Doc, those of you that are agricultural educationists, you have a lot to do. A lot. A lot. I tell my professors that work with me in the committee in the University of Jos, I say, we have a faculty of agri in University of Jos. It's not serving Plateau State. Let me give you one problem I have. The experience of going down to the south. We pass through Yellow Market each time we are going to the farm. And I notice that the quantity of yams produced from and transported out of that market alone, there is no day from October to the end of May that you see less than 50 trucks living with yams. But do you know something? Plateau State is not listed as a state that produces yam in Nigeria. Yes. Plateau State is not listed among yam producing states. And you see, these are the issues. We don't have data to change things. I don't know whether Plateau State is listed as maize producing. Because that will change when you are looking for intervention. Are we listed? Maybe it's only potato. That is why anything potato they bring it to Plateau. So, but we know. That's why I'm challenging my colleagues, professors in agri, that you must do better service to Plateau State. You can put your students to do this research, document the record. I told one of the professors, I said, get one of your PhD students or one of your master's degree students. Let the person record the quantity of yam from one market from October to May. Publish it. Another person goes to another market and do the same. When we have that record, Plateau State will be listed. Tomorrow when there is intervention from government, they will remember Plateau. But we don't document it. There's a lot to talk about. This quackle, do you know what it is? Do you know it's exported to other states? Igbos now eat quackle more than Mwaghavul people. Yes. Igbo people eat quackle more than Mwaghavul people. They know the value. But do we take it serious? That is it. What is this? The zobo leaf. I want to explain that. There was plenty things to talk about at no time. You know zobo leaf. What is the name of the plant in Mwaghavul? There are companies that are looking for that leaf. They will obtain no matter the quantity. You don't need fertilizer for it. your money will be on your table. It's one of the crops that the University of Jos is thinking of doing large-scale production this year. Because you don't need fertilizer for it. You just need to cultivate and control grass, that's all. And you are in money. You are in money. So, talking about the issue of fertilizers, I connected it. There are many crops you don't need fertilizer for. And you will have a lot of money in your pocket. A lot. But for those that need fertilizers, let's choose fertilizers wisely. The University of Jos experience last year, we used organic fertilizers. Largely, we still have some bags remaining. And that is why we are interested in this Russia's technology. And once it works, the University of Jos will advocate all these chemical fertilizers, leave them. Leave them and let's go organic. Then we will now rejuvenate the soil. The value of the soil is going down. We will rejuvenate it when we go back there. So for this year, if you don't have organic fertilizer, I know that our animals too are being dealt with. That's part of the challenge. But the village that my grandfather started, this trouble chased everybody away. We didn't know that that place can produce grass like this. But because no animals entered to graze, we went there and we couldn't find road because of grass. I said, so this place can produce grass like this. The fertility of the soil there will increase. Because the grass will die and add to it. So that's how we can improve the fertility. We are having neighbors that are killing our soil. I am sure you understand what I'm talking about. They graze, overgraze on our farmlands. Even the grasses that should grow and die and add to the humus, they eat everything. It's part of our problem. So I think for every bad thing there is a good side. So let's capitalize on the good side and let it increase the fertility of our soil. How do I start without knowledge nor finance to deploy technology in agri? The MC was the one that asked that question. It's true. There are plenty technologies that you can start with at your level. When you are looking at the higher tech, you may not go there. But you just received this charge. For this year, you can deploy some levels of technology. Technology encourages you to plant trees. How many trees are around your farm? Maybe you can start there. You bring in the right type of fertilizer, choice of your fertilizer. Choose it well. That is technology. So consult people that can help you in your choices. You want to grow maize, this variety. Which one will I add to it? For example, we have maize seed. Yes, now we cultivate maize, right? What is the seed that we are cultivating? How many bags can 1 hectare produce? Do we know? That's technology. I was told, and we are going to test that variety, that there is somebody that planted a variety of maize, and the test ground was in Mangu local government. I didn't go to the farm to see it, but my friend who were on the committee, in the university committee, went and saw it. He said what he saw on the test ground, 1 hectare will produce 100 bags of maize. Yes, 1 hectare. That's Kasamar, Kafili, Bol, Minto, Pan, Di, Katako, Dariminto.
Where is the seed?
You see that? That is technology. You choose the right seed.
Please.
I told him we need the seed.
We need it.
Yes. So that is technology. There are seeds, certified seeds that will give you 30 bags, 50 bags per hectare. That is technology. So you start at the level of the technology that you can afford. There are those you can afford. The high ones, you grow into it gradually. And I think that is the suggestion I would make on that. I think I've covered those questions that have been asked. Yes, so thank you. If there are more.
I stand on the already established. As a youth, in which I collected loan to purchase the land, and after harvesting, after farming, everything was,
Can I say the government is not helping matter or what? I don't know, but it's a challenge.
Thank you so much. I want to say this as a comment. This meeting is supposed to be a meeting of, the speaker has only come around to open our eyes. He is not in a position to actually bring any seedlings here. He only came here as a guest speaker. I want to challenge us. If by next year, and we are running an evaluation of this symposium, and all the structures of MDA that are here, all the structures of MDA that are here do not take this as the thing serious, then the key factor, I remember when he was mentioning the solution, he said, everything boils down on leadership. If leaders will give correct leadership, we will have solution to this problem. Let's get the key points from this presentation. And as leaders, we will come out with, this is the way forward. We will use the whole year pursuing it. And then we are also privileged to have people that can help us and can counsel us. Prof, what do we do? This is what we want to do as leaders. The Prof will advise. We are talking about policy, we are talking about a lot of things. In fact, thank God that we are even in the days of social media. If you put it on every platform, I'm looking for this thing, I'm looking for these things, where can I get it? I am sure somebody somewhere may respond. The only thing is to just to know the name of the city. So that is the comment that I actually want to make. I'm sure we are hungry. Sorry before that. I am sure we are hungry and we all need to drink water. There's plenty food and plenty everything for all of us. The food will be shared. But I think what we are going to do is that we are going to have a walk-in lunch. We may not go out because we need to do everything possible, wrap up and go and attend to other plus. So, question. The thing is so interesting. Everybody wants to ask a question. Our mama.
You talked about organic fertilizer. That is part of the technology. It's part of the things that we need to educate ourselves into as we go forward. However, if it is a loan that you took from your attaché group, you know that calamity has befallen you. Because people that put their money there will be expecting it back. But I know that we know what happened to us all. We will be able to find a way of helping one another. The same person was requesting that next time we should come with seed. I'm sure that was why the chairman got up to respond. Yeah, he's right. And do you know, this thought came to my mind. That when it's like, okay, it's the end of a season in Mwaghavul land, so it ends with Puus Kaat. Another season will start after Puus Kaat. It will end with the planning of another Puus Kaat. Then we must have something to bring up. After the Puus Kaat, we go to sleep until another Puus Kaat is approaching. Sincerely, Planning Committee and MDA Puus Kaat Planning, Central Planning Committee. This subject that is not the best to be taken as a symposium along with Puus Kaat. And when we were lamenting I said, this was the thinking that came to my mind. Deliberately invite the stakeholders on a neutral day. Tell them this is the issue. Sacrifice one day for this cause. Come and listen. Maybe after 30 minutes of a presentation. Now, how do we move from here? We are not in a haste. The leaders will not tell you that they must leave because they are going to plan for Puus Kaat. These are the intervening factors. So when I was thinking about this, I said, if we must benefit from this, it should not be part of a program attached to Puus Kaat. Because you won't get the people that you need to have. So yes, it's just tradition. You have done, you have finished, that's all. That's all. So it will help us move forward actually as a nation. Then how can we handle high cost of machines and the hiring of machines? Yes, it is actually costly. And the size of your farm should determine what you will go for. That was why I asked, if you size your farm, is it more than one football field? If it is just one football field, you don't need a machine for it. You don't. In fact, if it is 3, 4, 5 football fields, you may not even need a machine for it. Depending on the type of soil. For cultivation. But you may need technology in other aspects when it gets to that. So, the size of your farm and what you are planting and where you are planting it will determine which type of technology you will deploy. And you will go for the one that you can afford as your farming techniques grow. So we will not wake up one day and jump into it and say we want big. No. A child, you don't give birth to a child today and the child begins to run tomorrow. We must grow. It's a beginning. Yes, all wings of MDA should participate, and we look forward to how that can be. You ask how can this be addressed? I think I've made a suggestion. If you want an impactful engagement, dedicate the time for it and not connect it to Puus Kaat. Organic fertilizers. How good is it? Madam, I may not be able to tell you how those ones were or how they will perform. There are organic fertilizers, applied fertilizers that are solid. And there are recommendations on how to apply them. All these are very important. If you just see organic fertilizer in the market and buy, and there are no instructions, you may run at a loss. I want you to believe them. Go and test. If it doesn't work for you, bye-bye. If it works for you, come back. It has been tested in Tanzania. Tanzanian government has made it a law that farmers in Tanzania are also going to be doing the test. 2 universities in the central zone. I'm not sure there's any other university in Nigeria, just these 2. So, hopefully, by the end of this year, we will have our own testimony. Tree planting versus crop production. Yes. There are some trees that are not good around your farm. Let's get it. There are some trees that are not good. There are some trees that are very good. Very, very good. Some are not. There are some trees that even if it's another tree growing near it, it will kill that tree. Yes. I know you wouldn't know, but if we are going into it, don't just wake up and just begin to do it. So if you are growing neem tree, grow it where it's not close to your farm. But if you see it near your farm, since it is small, kill it. But there are trees that can help fertility to grow. And if you go to the southern zone, you see people growing their crops around trees and they are harvesting. Those trees don't kill crops, they support fertility. Those that will injure crops are cut down. So I think that's what I will say on that at this moment. Each of the issues are important for more elaborate discussion, and I'm sure we can have another opportunity to do that. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and thank you for the participation.
Grouping ourselves in this group. After our meal, I will briefly discuss in groups and come up with positions that support the discussion for today. We'll be having 3 groups. Just like students in this group will be one group, this area will be another group, and the other area will be another group. So all of us that are other adult participants will join the groups of the students as they are seated. So you will be either in the group that discusses agri component of the revolutionizing or the technology component of whatever positions we have, and will serve as part of the final discussions that will appear, and then the position paper that will come up for the discussions on this symposium. This will serve as opportunity for further discussion on how we implement this wonderful initiative in the Mwaghavul nation. I will invite those who are serving the meal, that meals should be served so that we'll continue as I have just recognized.
Yes. Yes, I think as regarding the infrastructure and based on all with town roads, what has much to do with the economic challenge of our society and of our present communities. Because so that in the villages, in the rural settings, there are so many places whereby they are able to produce many of the agricultural products, but how to now transport them into cities and other places whereby they can be marketable, it's not accessible. So we should go back to construction.
So as a nation, the mobile nation is collaborate with the government to make sure that more access roads go to all communities so that it will prevent loss, post-harvest loss, and other things in dealing with the transportation of goods and services to the market. Is that our agreement? Is that our agreement, all of us? Yes. So on the infrastructure, roads, we encourage the community.
We need some early maturing varieties, and one that will give high yield varieties that we can include, including one that will have high yield per hectare. Yes, what again? I'm happy everybody. Deforestation.
How about if you have interest for the afforestation? How will you treat down the trees for that land and see some trees as dangerous?
Yes, there's what we call agroforestry. Agroforestry. Now there are some trees that we can plant them alongside our crops, and there is a mutual benefit.
And that is why those things are gradually taken down.
But there are, if you want to do that, like I said,
and what else? What else?
There must be competitive trees, not trees that are antagonistic to the growth of the crops.
We should look at the possibility of using of them to avoid that chemical that is usually inside those particularly the sunset. I remember who put using, what do you call it? He's a traffic killer or something. Yeah? Sniper. Is it? How healthy is it? When we put those things, and you know those quarry they cannot survive it. But moving on, That's expert. How sure are you that it has expert completely that it does not have anything at all? Yeah? Yeah? On the one. Okay. What else? What else?
Shapes affects the plant. There is what we call pruning. Pruning them. The branches and the leaves to expand. Prune them. And those pruning, we are bringing down this. So the roots will not provide so much.
Improving. Our forefathers were using large for farming, and for several decades we are still using that. They can improve upon. So what do we need to do? And work together with other competitors, bring technologies that will make farming less illegal. Is that an argument? That's it. That's it. And fabricators. So do what? Collaborate.
Mostly about planting from the definition of agriculture. Back then, my dad, I remember she said it's a growing of crops and also rearing of animals. So earlier on, we talk about organic fertilizer, and then this organic fertilizer is also gotten from animals, and then we buy it from people, whom they process it. But if I think actually go about, you people telling us more on animals, we will be done to get the organic fertilizer from them, not really buying from other people, and then also know on how to make compost, which can also be of improvement to the farming. I think more animals to serve.
Okay, that's very good. When we are discussing agriculture, emphasis is on two main things, not just our emphasis is on crop and animal. Okay? It's crop and animal. Now, what we are trying to say is that we should not be talking about only crop. And one other thing that you are trying to put across is the advantage of you having animals and you're also growing crop. Because the crops, when you harvest them, the remains, you can use it for animals. The animals, their dungs and other things, you can use it to apply to your crops. So in that one, we call it mixed farming. We encourage mixed farming. And it may not necessarily be cows, sheep, and whatever, even poultry, fish, and the rest of them. You can integrate them into your own family.
Here, they are mentioned like sun drying, You know sun dry. That is a common one. Smoking. What is the example of maybe something that is preserved by someone? Fish. Good. Fermentation. Give me an example. That. Yeah. Those that cannot go.
So, in that order, my team looked at the economic aspect of revitalization of the Mwaghavul nation economy. So I will discuss, highlight what we discussed. The team concentrated on finding solutions that are workable and implementable. That are what? That are what? Workable and implementable. So they are actionable and things that should and can be done so that we reach to the promised land. In this regard, the syndicate discussed extensively about the economic challenges that beset us as a nation, and we came up with issues like this. One, regarding infrastructure. Infrastructure here relates to road networks, access to electricity and water within the Mwaghavul nation. The team noted that our recent government have started doing some things as relates to some aspects of the roads. The team came to the conclusion that government should be encouraged to construct more roads that link almost all rural areas to the network so that agricultural goods and services can be transported to the market. We also, and this will be done by government. Also, communities that have not constructed roads can also revamp such roads so that access to the markets can be effective. Secondly, establishment of small and medium enterprises. We discovered that there are some few small and medium enterprises within the Mwaghavul nation, but this can be enhanced so that the economy, it will be source of employment, it will also be source of export of goods and services. So it was encouraged that more SMEs should be encouraged to improve. For instance, blacksmiths can be made to work together with other fabricators so that they can bring out machineries that will be useful to reduce labor from for farm implements within Mwaghavul nation. So reduce dependency on hoes, small hoes and big hoes that we have been using for several centuries now. Fifthly, the team advised that the Mwaghavul Microfinance Bank, which was the mainstay of the Mwaghavul economy, is in comatose now. They advised that this should be revitalized so that access to finance and other things for farming and other businesses can be improved within the Mwaghavul nation. The Mwaghavul Microfinance Bank has no reason not to perform, and that can be a source of support for us. Sixthly, and which is very strong, it was advised that the Mwaghavul nation should establish the Mwaghavul Economic Summit Group. Mwaghavul Economic Summit Group. The Mwaghavul Economic Summit Group would be a group of professionals and businesswomen and men and women, both in academia and in businesses, both locally, nationally and internationally, that are of Mwaghavul extraction, so that they will give advice on economic related issues that will advance the cause of people of the Mwaghavul extraction, the Mwaghavul Economic Summit Group. Then, apart from that, you emphasize the issue of training and retraining. Deliberate training should be done so that we can have Mwaghavul sons and daughters who are exporters of goods and services. Currently, we lack that. So on the market day, if the Igbo and the Hausa people refuse to come to the market, our goods are left in the mercy of them. And therefore, that cannot continue like that. Let us train our people who can be exporters and importers, and it is possible. And this will make sure that we will be in control of our economy as a nation. Establishment of cottage industry for processing of our agricultural products to be encouraged. We are great farmers of potatoes, Irish potatoes and maize. We can establish such cottage industries to serve as means of employment for our young ones, and it also prevents post-harvest loss, which is very hard. Establishment of community silos or storage facility can also help in this regard. And improvement of community security to prevent economic loss usually associated with attacks, which has come to be part and parcel of our existence of recent. Communities should further galvanize themselves to work together to provide security. We have been doing this, and this is continuing, so that all that we have labored for should not be destroyed in one day. So the communities should work together so that our economy will not be disrupted. Because we know the crisis we are having now is an economic crisis. The enemy wants to make sure that the Mwaghavul nation's economy is destroyed. But we, with the help of God, will work against that. And finally, we say that all cultural practices, such as early marriage, forced marriages, or discrimination based on gender, which at times probably said within our communities, it usually creates inequalities within the community, should be addressed nationally as a nation. These were some of the suggestions we made. Thank you for listening. Can you clap for the
talking about technology, bringing in technology in agriculture. One thing we want to point out here is that we are not without an idea of technology. The Mwaghavul man, like our keynote address pointed out, our people had some sort of technology, and we want to say that that technology should not just be waved away with the wave of the hand. Now, there is the advice here is that we should have an evolution, technological evolution of our agricultural machineries. The first man, how did he start? You know, like you mentioned, there was a time that they were using stick, and then gradually they were moving until we were using hoe. There's a need for us to keep the records of that. How did our technology evolve up to this level? The Mwaghavul nation should keep that record. And how can we do it? We can have an agricultural technology evolution museum. Now, if this is the museum, the agricultural technology machinery, if this is the museum, then when you just enter, you could see where they were using stick, where they were using a small hoe, and the rest of it, until we come to the recent technology. And then when that is done, some people, even among some of our students here, if you go, you can pick one of the technology and you can develop it from there. That's how the advanced nations do. They don't allow it to die away, but they keep the record of it over time. And you could see how some people work this person work on this one, after some time, this is where his own knowledge stops. Somebody can pick on it again and develop it from there until we have a sophisticated machine for our agriculture. Now, another thing that we have to do is this importation of technologies like the So another thing that we are agreeing is that, you know, before we could bring in technologies, foreign technologies, one thing we should do is to test the soil. That was what we agreed on. That our soil should be tested so that the machine that we are bringing in should match the soil. Or else the machine can come and then do more harm to the soil than good. So that is why when we see most of this importation of machines by some of our government, they bring them and they don't work at all. They can bring machines and it will not work because it was not invented to work on this type of soil that we have. Okay? Then the environment. There are endangered, the speaker talked about some of this, and we also discussed it. Endangered seed species. Endangered seed species is another problem. That there were seeds that our parents were using. Although their yield per hectare was low, but we need to keep them. We can improve on this seed and we can increase the yield per hectare rather than just throwing them away and bringing in the improved one. Because if they get extinct, and like the speaker said, it's what they call GMO. A time will come that we'll be looking for seed and we don't have it. They have set money that if you don't have this amount of money, you cannot get the seed. So that time when it comes, we have problem. But when we have our own seed and we have improved our team, we will not have problem.
One thing we noted that is key is that looking at the technology, particularly that is applicable to the agricultural sector in this Mwaghavul nation, comparing it with what is happening in the developed nation, you know that we are far lacking. We are actually behind schedule because we look at the problem that we found ourselves in, particularly when it comes to things like preservation, the farming implement, and all of those things, all the aspect of instrumentation, you will know that we are behind. So we look at how are we going to address this. Number one thing we noted and suggested was in the aspect of our preservation. We look at the issue of bands. We said before now, they have been using bands for preservation, which the key speaker noted. Of late, we discovered that people have neglected that and go into mostly using sap and using chemical on it. I hope that was, we even asked in our group, how many of us have bands? I think it is just a few. And we look at the health implication of it. We agree that to save something in band, in fact, is safer than what we are using now. Because when you look at the chemical and all of those things that are involved, I don't think it is healthy for us. Then, one other safe way of preservation that we raised was the issue of jerry cans. We saw that even to save things in jerry cans, like quackle and all of those things, most are jerry can, you close it without any chemical. I think it is more safer. So all of this, So one thing we suggested is that we need to look at the technology in that aspect. We need to look at it critically. If need be, provide a good solution. Maybe a scientific team should be saved within this nation to look at a safer way of preserving maize, a safer way of preserving your potato. Are we together? A safer way of preserving all of these crops that are produced within this nation. Because we know that there are and it is safe. Even up to now, you'll be taking it. All of this, we have neglected them to something else. So, another thing we look at is the technology. Yes, in dry season farming, where, you know, like potato production, and Basirua, then they will use this aside the question, I think that is the common one, right? What we look at in that group is we say, can something be done on that? You know that if you are a first timer and you go to the farm and you are doing that, and you come back, you will sleep for not less than 24 hours. Okay? And at the end of the day, you may. And I know some of them, some of the workers on those farms, some of them take drugs to be able to do that. Right? So there are a number of aspects that we felt need to be looked and improved upon.
The presenter, Professor Isaiah Lomde, also appreciate our rapporteurs. Also appreciate our rapporteurs. Will introduce yourselves as we take your seats. Thank you for this session.
Dr. Dayo Samuel Kanko, thank you.
The anchor of the moderators. We are at the end of this session and we'll continue the other to produce a new clean copy for onward presentation to the committee. We appreciate the opportunity to serve and we are always available to serve the Mwaghavul nation. Thank you and God bless us all.
A wish that we had all key invited guests and officials of this symposium seated here so that they will listen to some of these things. And it's like we're addressing the wrong people. But nonetheless,
it's a learning session for them.
It's a learning session for them. And I'm happy because they also contributed. At least it's making a difference about what we have done this afternoon. Please, we appreciate you once again. Thank you very much. While we wait for the chairperson and the other committee members to come in so that we'll put these things to rest. Is one day around? What again? Proverb in Mwaghavul. Are you ready to hear that?
Standing before you is Outwell Shire. I'm from Government Secondary School, Premium. I'm here to recite the national anthem in Mwaghavul and proverb words in Mwaghavul. As you listen, may you be blessed. Nigeria, Mupekodi, Yilpe, Fludisha, Kosaran, Kili, Wabubaksha, Bemun, Adem, Niginsha. Nigeria, Muchenak, Shiraz, Yilser, Mumiginfuna, Watsum, Flude, Afili, Lesat Sen, Kitchen. Nigeria Yilfuna, the one Tongre, Tongian Kisasena, one Chizak Nigeria Shibal Fanachi, one Darga Tongra Yildi Minto, one Jeb Sulfra, the Haifra, Yamyama, one Tana. Asha, Bra Asha, Shar what a what, cat a 2 years socket, and I pay, I'm a bad pay, could pay bang. Muna reku pus mangu apu shidi fair. Mun wap something tun benu kudi adilo. Pasar chigar card one when adi minton kas. Thank you.
In second position and in third position. But we'll just call them in that order so that we'll be able to appreciate them. Beloved Conker Williams. From CACMC, Mangu came first. The second person, Elisha Nanke.
Let me say something.
Okay.
For us as MGA, they will believe in tomorrow. So for that, congratulations. MGA will pay her tuition fee. First term, second term, third term. And then we also have an appreciation to the school for treating her well. Where's your teacher? School tuition. And then this appreciation is, that's 1 year. Then this appreciation is to the school. And our teachers well done. Everybody, congratulations. You are welcome. Thank you.
Elijah Nankling, also from CSU. John Shan Wangat Zugwagat, GS Espanya. Yamtu Panan Ilia from Trinity. Munkina Longman.
Our 4 wonderful children, we had a tie, and the tie is for 4 people. And they again will pay their tuition fee for 2 terms. And they will pay their tuition fee. The 2 schools are involved here. 2 schools are involved. We'll have a small token for the school so that the teachers will go and report that yes, the students did well. Our encouragement is that you keep trying, and then next year you will still do better. Thank you.
Which are the 2 schools? Trinity and CAC. Espanya.
I know we have already given CAC.
We have raised here. So which one?
Yes, Espanya.
Yes, Espanya. Trinity and yes, Espanya.
Where is yes, Espanya? Okay. Congratulations. Congratulations.
That's what JSS.
The
Trinity.
Congratulations, congratulations, my God. I hope you know the chat. If you go chat, this congratulations is cut out.
2 schools tying again. Full red Ezekiel from Trinity, Wisdom Daspan from Unique. That's the Trinity. The unique. No unique.
All right, for unique, for these 2 people, MDA will pay their tuition fee for 1 term. MDA will pay their tuition fee for 1 term. Congratulations. Here's your teacher. I wanted to say, teachers should be around. Congratulations. We are also going to give you certificates so that you will have it as part of your document. By the time you grow up and you are as old as me, if you open your documents, you will tell your children that once upon a time you participated in a quiz and you won, and this is the certificate that was given to you to that effect. I think we need to clap for them.
The 3 judges unanimously gave it to Nakam Memorial Secondary School. I'm just telling the result. I will call the names.
Oh, okay, call the names.
Now, the best speaker. Do I need to call her name? No. I need to call her name? Yes. I thought you already know. Yes. Now, just say something about her. Kirnan Yakubu, are you here? Please come forward. Just to encourage you, this young woman here, by the end of July, she will be flying out of the country to Panama in North America to represent Nigeria, Plateau State in the debate. Now we are proud of her. MGA is proud of her. Her school is proud of her. In fact, Plateau State is proud of her. Nigeria is proud of her too. And we are just coveting your prayers for her as she prepares to go abroad. I'm just saying it because I am so proud of her. And I wish I could do more than that for her. So she is the best speaker for today's event. And the second person, please come close here.
All right, I remember I met her outside and I said she needs to improve on the charisma on the stage. You know, debate is fight. It's the only thing you have not gone to punch somebody, but you are struggling to pick it no matter what. And she took note of that. And we'll be waiting for you at Maravan Jaman when you pick the trophy and you are coming back to celebrate. Make sure that when you sit on the table, at the end of the day, don't just sit, carry the table. That is what you're supposed to do. Don't just sit, carry the table. And you must go with that mindset. And God be on your side. Amen. Come back to celebrate you next year. Because next year's Puus Kaat, if you win, we will come and give them the report that the lady represented us. And she did well. But the problem is that I hope you don't go do shaka shaka. You don't go to shaka shaka. But you don't destroy yourself. And if every time what you are doing on the stage is just to be there, to say I love you, so, congratulations, we are giving her a token, and it's not only her but herself and the school that will have the token. Because when they say token, children will think it's their own. Without the school, we cannot come here. You understand? Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you.
Speaker is Longel Peter.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
And the third speaker is
where's the teachers now?
Nanle Yerima.
Come and stand here. I hope you know the shark. You don't believe the shark. You know the shark. So congratulations. Everybody, you have the certificate for participating in this quiz and in this debate. We are looking forward to, we cannot be the organizers of this symposium forever. It is our expectation and our hope that in the nearest future you will come and take over from us. The fact that you have directly benefited from this activity. Thank you so much. Now, we also have everybody, the students that wrote the quiz, nobody scored 0. Nobody scored 0. So all of you that participated in the quiz, please come up. Doctor, come and help us.
Line up.
All of you that participated in the quiz.
The collected prize, you don't need to come here again.
Let's go. Congratulations. Congratulations.
What are those ones?
Hey, that's who came on.
That's true, that's right.
Then those that participated in the debate, I think 2 persons that didn't get prize. The 2 of you that you didn't get prize.
We fix for the giving of the certificates, you call us and let us know. We'll go to the various schools and be part of the giving of these certificates, so that the other students will look forward, because the competition will always come up every year. And when a situation whereby the students themselves will ask, when are we going for that thing? And next year it will be more serious. We are going to have the written exams, and then we'll have the oral quiz. So next year it will be more serious. There will be written essay examination, and then the people that pass the essay will now go for the oral quiz. Is that okay? We will want a situation whereby over 500 students will come up for the exams. We will not mind. If everybody wants to write, let them write now. We will write and then celebrate ourselves. Thank you so much.
The LDA, they were with us. Want to thank them for that show of concern. Want to also appreciate the traditional rulers that they are here. You saw them, and they were there. They started with us, even though they did not finish it. But we really appreciate. Want to especially appreciate our debate committee and quiz committee. They have taken their time. They developed the question papers and prepare how the debate will look like. Honestly, we really appreciate you. I want to say well done for what you have done. Anytime we call on you, please accept it. And it was a short notice, and you responded very well. So we really appreciate you. Want to also appreciate our rapporteurs that we informed them just yesterday evening. And all of them, they are here. You are wonderful to us. And sorry though, I would have started with our guest speaker. Guest speaker have done a lot. I think nobody have gone home without anything, honestly. And we're thinking that one day we'll change this day to a particular day where everybody will be there. I think it is a very good program, but it is clashing with this Puus Kaat, and people are most concerned about Puus Kaat than the Symposium. And I think the professor has done a lot. And I want to say thank you for what he has done. Want to appreciate our students. Jamaganda mu plan desin mu plan ba wo me bi do chi uchin ba una ne redka ba wo la ne yelin bi mu ka ya be ba wo kwarje woni ba ka price ka tu ka next time. You have seen the nature of the question, so it's just to go improve on what you have seen. So next time you fight and get it. And I pray that as you go back, honestly, the good Lord that brought you here will take everybody back to his home safely. And then tomorrow, you all come for the Puus Kaat by 10 o'clock. You see a lot of activities. So it's not that we are closed. Tomorrow we'll continue. So all of you, you are invited for the Puus Kaat tomorrow. Thank you very much. As you go back, God will take you safely. In Jesus' name. After the count of 2, 1, 2.
From the beginning of this activity in respect to the 2025 Puus Kaat Festival, the Symposium. and all the presentations that were made, the quiz, the debates, and all the activities that were done, we give you the glory. We thank you for the gift of these young ones who are the tomorrow's leaders. Thank you for how you have helped them in the various activities they have done. Father Lord, for what they have learned, may you keep it permanent. Father Lord, for the activities that they will do, both now and in the future, you will help them. We pray for our nation, that Lord King of Glory, as we celebrate tomorrow, that you will guide and be with us. As we are departing here, for those who will be joining close and near, we pray for safety, that we'll meet again one day to continue this work that you have laid before us. Thank you because you have heard us and you will do immeasurably more than we have thought or imagined, for you are God. For this we pray with faith and thanksgiving through Christ Jesus our Lord.
Amen.
Amen.